Oh, I'm Nick. I'm from Sowden Building Solutions. I'm a builder based in the inner west of Sydney, concentrating inner west, North Shore, eastern suburbs. And I'm a sustainable builder. I tend to do a lot of heritage work, so it's been a nice mixture of trying to get newer products in with the older products. This project, which we've recently completed, it was a reasonably open slab for myself. The architect had designed the house, or the renovation out the back, which was changing previous renovations where you've gone from nice high ceilings and then you went into the main living room where there was only 2.4 ceilings, so you really felt quite squashed as you're walking in there. And then the previous balcony, even though it had a veranda, I mean, it was almost hitting you in the head, so it let no good light in, and it just didn't look too good and you felt squashed in your main living area. So this design was to open the place up, make it so that the deck was then usable. So we actually extended the deck into the house and then moved the walls in that section. As I had open sort of design on the roof, I ended up using VersaLink, which is an insulated roofing panel. So automatically you've got an R3.6 just in your sheeting. You don't need to put in traditional joists, battens, sarking or anything else. You literally have your front point, your back point with these panels in this area. That's up to over 6 metres span. So you didn't need any of that extra structure and that labour. So it's a massive thing. And it's a sulk roof as well. So it deadens out the noise. Obviously the insulation's a massive factor as well. Another very important factor is you don't get thermal bridging, so there's no condensation issues underneath those sheets. All the timber that we've used is all FSC certified, so that's from the decking to all the design pine. So it was a lot of detailed timber work that we did in this job, which is all done by hand on site, which is quite enjoyable. All the glass is all Viridian Comfort Plus, so you pay about an extra 20% compared to normal glass for that. So it's not that much of a cost, but because it's the north-facing windows and because of the overhang, I mean, your summer sun's not getting in there, but your winter sun, as it comes in at a lower trajectory, you're still getting that winter solar gain, which comes down to basic design principles as well, and then using the right product in position. The external cladding up on the roof, we ended up using fibre cement cladding for the simple fact, maintenance. In the long run, if it's timber, you're going to have to keep painting it all the time. Fibre cement, it sticks much better, so the embodied energy in the whole cycle of that section of the building is going to be less in the long run. And instead of just sticking timber, stud work, sarking, and then putting your cladding straight onto that, we've put a rain screen in there as well. So you've got your stud work, then your sarking, then it's battened, and then at the bottom and the top of the battens, we've got core flute wrapped in fly screen, so you can get ventilation up and behind all of that cladding, so that any moisture that does get through there, it dries up, and it's not being forced sort of into the building. You're not got the vapour sort of trying to come in, and it also lets the building, because you always get vapour in a building, come out and dry easier through there. On any job that I do, we try and sort out what's straight out waste, what's recyclable, what we can reuse on site. So in this instance, we had more brickwork that we had to do. In this instance, we recycled the bricks. So instead of buying in more bricks, we literally just cleaned the existing brickwork for what we needed. What we didn't use was put aside for the end of the job, and they were taken specifically to a brick recycling place. So they weren't double handled. The bin company didn't have to go and sort them out and then transport them yet again. And also, it cost $70 to get rid of them compared to, say, $300 if it went straight into a skip. So it made things much easier. All the metal work, again, it's all put to the side. And then at the end of the job, in the big final clean-up, that was all taken to a local scrap yard. And it's then there, it's sorted, it's all good. Timber work, we reused some of the original structure throughout the construction, because we effectively had to build a frame over the top of the roof to keep all the weather out, because we were working over finished floors, which had been put down a couple of years previous. So we've reused that, and the leftover Oregon's been taken home, which I've since used in other projects, and some of it's still sitting in the racks as well. Changes to the business, we're looking at how I recycled. So instead of everything just going straight in the skip, things would get sorted on site beforehand. So I've also looked at using different products. So instead of using polyurethane glues and adhesives, I've moved to polymers, which are not toxic, and they are actually stronger as well. They are only just starting to come out in Australia, and people aren't fully aware of them, including the distributors as well, but it's slowly getting there. If I'm looking at using varnishes, I try and move away from things which are going to be off-gassing in the house. The cost factor, in this instance, I priced the roof traditional style and using the VersaClad system. It ended up working out about the same. By the time you take out all the labour, extra rafters, extra materials, battens, sarking, compared to putting this roof in, it was the same. The glass, yes, it was about 20% more expensive, but at the end of the day, those costs you're going to recoup getting the solar gain in throughout the winter time. I mean, the initial cost of a sustainable building might be slightly higher, but it shouldn't be that much higher, because a lot of the new systems which are out there, like if you're using structurally insulated panels or insulated concrete forms, you're cutting out different trades, you're cutting out so much labour, whereas the product might cost more as a standalone product. You can't look at it just in that sense. You've got to do the total price.